Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Juuni Taisen episode 5. So this one, we didn't have any deaths once again, which I'm totally fine with. We could have used a few, it doesn't really matter though, because this gave us some much needed character development for multiple characters spanning the episode. It mostly focused on Sheep though, and it was generally good. Like I said, mostly an info dump, mostly development, but it was still good. It had fighting and the fights were really good, and there was always this suspense there, expecting, because it's a survival game, expecting somebody to maybe die. So it was still suspenseful, still really great. I wouldn't say it was one of the best episodes, just simply because that is the purpose of it, was to inform us on characters and stuff. But either way, let's discuss it part by part. At the very beginning we have Duet a Couple. Man, it's hard to get his name right. Our Duet a Couple. With some VIPs, and we get the explanation of the Juuni Taisen. It's essentially a proxy war where people that have real wars going on make bets for the outcomes of the real wars, all based on this one simple war boiled down to 12 warriors. So because they're betting on that, it sort of simplifies things and makes their wars all around the world easier. So this is a very war-centric version of our world. So what they do is they wait until the 12 gets down to a final 6, and then they place bets on the final 6. They talk about right now how some of the leaders are, score-wise, Ox with 3 of the, I forget what they call them, the gem things. Ox has 3, Rabbit and Dragon each have 2, everyone else has 1, and by process of math, that means Horse is alive. Of course, I already said that because we didn't see him die off screen, I already presumed he was alive. But that's pretty much our first confirmation there. They mentioned how Ox, Rabbit, and Monkey are the front runners, but Sheep won the 9th Juuni Taisen, and they said after 3 more die we'll place the bets. But there should be, there's 8 left. So shouldn't it be 2? I think that might have just been a mess up with the subtitles. So I'm just going to say they messed up the number in the subtitles, and it should be when 2 more die. But if that was purposeful and they said when 3 more, that means either there's a 13th guy in there somewhere, or somebody that we thought died is actually alive, which seems very unlikely, given that the 4 we saw die really seriously died pretty convincingly. Unless they're counting the corpse of Snake, but I'm pretty sure they even mentioned that they're not counting that. So, I guess that would mean that, all I can think is the subs were messed up on that. I should have went back to listen to what they said with the actual Japanese, but I didn't. Sorry about that. So we see Sheep strategizing, and of course his strategizing is a little bit outdated, since he doesn't know all the people that have died already, so his strategies from the very beginning are pretty flawed, just because he doesn't have intel like the rest do, or at least most of the rest. But basically he says he needs the top 3 to take down each other because he can't beat any of them in a fight. Monkey versus Rabbit happens. The fight, again, really, really good. We get to see Horse, so, hard confirmed alive. What happened to him. We have Sheep telling his backstory to his grandson when his grandson was a baby. And he was a weapons merchant. He married into a client's family, won the Juuni Taisen in space. And his wish was to see his grandchild, because he thought a soldier, kind of a soldier, mercenary arms dealer like him wouldn't get to live to see a grandchild. So his wish was to live to see a grandchild. And then this one, his grandson was supposed to be the one to compete in this Juuni Taisen, but he accepted the role and took the place of his grandson because he didn't want his family to bear the burden of the Juuni Taisen, so he would bear the burden for them. The fight scenes were really, really cool. More of Monkey fighting all the dead birds and undead birds and Rabbit. More of, I thought actually what we got to see with Rat and Snake was really, really cool. Just because it wasn't like your straight normal fight, it was kind of hiding and searching each other out, chasing each other around places. I think that it was a really cool way to set that up. And then, of course, we get a little bit of the flashback between Ox and Horse and what happened. And Horse just survived his attacks and ended up getting out of there. What was next? Oh, yeah, Sheep we find out didn't swallow the jewel, and he's planning to use that to deceive them, lie about his power to gain their trust and all that. And he mentions he could blow them all up with his old-timer grenade. So we still have, that's his ace in the hole, we still have to figure out what that is. And his original plan was just to blow up the entire room at the beginning and take himself out and everybody with him. But Rat, we get back to Rat and Snake, and I think this is a really cool scene because, yeah, how does Snake know where he is? If he can't see, if he can't smell, if he can't hear, how is Snake tracking down Rat? How does any of this work? It looks like he may be sensing heat or something like that, because we saw him rub his hand on the floor. Maybe he was looking for heat from footsteps, which is, I mean, everything in this show, all of them are superhuman, but I don't know. That's kind of weird. Or maybe he was feeling for footprints. So it's weird how this entire thing works, how we can sense him without actually knowing where he is. But we'll get more of that next episode, it would seem. We got a lot this episode and nothing really resolved. Nothing at all resolved. Everything is being left for next episode. So Sheep mentions that Rat and Tiger, for him, are the two for sure weaker than him, and he ends up finding Tiger, or, well, I mean, she knows he's there, so she ends up finding him technically too. Thought it was an interesting episode. It was kind of a weird place to end there. Yeah, and it was development. It felt weird after the first few episodes that nothing was really settled in one episode, but I think it was good. I think we needed all this development. It makes us care a lot more about the characters. It lets us know more about what they're like, so no complaints anywhere in that. I still think the game may have some sort of sketchy aspect, and it might be like rigged from the start and they need to fight against it, even though from what we've seen of the winners, it seems like the winner actually does get their prize. It still seems like there might be some background stuff that ends up being sketchy, and they're going to fight to take down the Juuni Taisen or whatever. But it could always not end up like that, and it could work out normally, and then we could get the 13th Juuni Taisen. So, who knows? I thought all the fights were good, and all of the fights were really interesting too. They each had something different going on, whether it was Monkey trying to convince Rabbit to work with her and having to deal with all the birds, whether it was Rat running from Snake and having to figure out what was going on with him there. Horse really sort of brought back, like, what he was saying was, Ox didn't sneak attack me, he didn't use any kind of crazy powers, he just fought me in a fair 1v1 fight, and he screwed me up. So, he's worried now, because he's like, how can I compete with him if this is how it works in a 1v1 fight? So, great for all the characters. I thought the suspense was still very nice, because like I said, we still didn't know if anybody was going to die here. I was throughout the episode, I didn't know if anybody was going to die. So as a score, I'd give it 8.5 War Games out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 was a really good episode. And now, my rankings for who I think is most to least likely to survive. I'm going to add percentages to them this week. I think I kind of got into that a little bit last time, but last week was basically the same as the week before. This week they have changed dramatically because of the character development we've gotten. So here, at least some of them are kind of the same, but a lot have changed drastically. I still think Rat, for me, most likely to survive. I'll give him 70% survive, 35 or a 70% chance of survival, 30% chance of death. Horse, I moved Horse up to second because I really feel like since we got this development and he's thinking, I still don't know if I can see him as that main character who survives kind of character, but I do see him, I could see him surviving. I see him being a good guy, being really important. I'd give him a 55% chance of survival, 45% chance of death, which isn't very good. This shows how unconfident I am in anyone's survival. Tiger, I think that Tiger I'm going to give a 50-50 shot. Could survive, could die, 50-50. The way she was presented as the weakest, but it seems like she actually won't be. She has some sort of hidden strength or importance. And the way that we haven't really gotten to her backstory yet makes me think that she's going to be more important, and she's going to be more important later in the series, which gives her a better chance to survive, since being important early in the series, you have a better chance of dying early in the series when you're important. So Tiger 50-50. Rabbit, I'm actually moving up a ton, just because the way he wouldn't answer Monkey when asked about his dream, and the fact that I feel like if we were going to get more death flags for him dying as this psychotic villain, we would have got them earlier on. I think he's more likely to kill Monkey than she is to kill him at this point in the story. I'd give him 45% chance of survival, 55% of death, because I do think he could still come around and work with them possibly, or even if he doesn't, I think he could end up winning for some reason or another. So Rabbit, I think he's more of a chance, a little bit more of a chance to die than to live, but I could still see him living. Dragon, moving down a little bit, I'm giving him 40% chance to live, 60% to die, because Dragon, we're going to get into his story later on, and like I said with Tiger, it means that he's going to be more important later in the series, giving him either a chance to die there or a chance to live there, but he's safe for right this moment. And before I was thinking he was going to have more importance, and I still think that's possible, but we're holding off on it a lot, and I don't know with his design, if like Horse, I don't know if I could see him being the main character who survives. So 40-60. Then I'll give Ox the same as him, 40-60. Ox, I feel like if we were going to get development for him, we probably should have gotten some by now. He just is running around killing everyone. We're definitely going to get some backstory for him at some point, and he's definitely super strong, but I just don't know if I see him living. He might make it till like right at the end before he dies. He might be one of the last people that get taken out, but at this point I see a little less of him living, so I would tie him at 40-60 with Dragon. Second to least likely to survive, Monkey. She's just too nice and innocent. Only a 30% to survive and 70% to die. The complete inverse of Rat. I really don't have high hopes for her because I like the character so much, and because she's such a good character. She's in a survival game. Good characters don't get to live. And then Sheep is the lock for me. 0% chance of survival. He is 100% dead. Maybe not now, maybe not until later, but I don't see Sheep surviving. I can't envision a scenario I can't envision a likely scenario in which Sheep survives. So top to bottom, that'd be Rat, Horse, Tiger, Rabbit, Dragon, Ox, Monkey, then Sheep. That would be my order from most to least. I think they'd survive. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more Juuni Taisen, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel or talk to you there. And if you want a link to our Discord server, ask and I'll give you one. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.